And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we get ready for a great Friday show. I hope you'll join us beginning at 7 o'clock as we'll get local news, all your headlines of what's going on in the area. This morning, you're hearing the sound of thunder and rumbles all around us. If it's not raining at your house yet, it most likely will before long. Let's go to radar so you can take a look at what we're seeing on here. Still, we've had thunderstorm warnings move through the area north of here. Neshoba County was under one briefly. Winston County just expired and Kemper County just expired. Here's radar is what we're seeing this morning. We still have pretty good strong thunderstorm here in Macon. Neshoba, Noxubee County, rather, as we look at this. This storm is going to be affecting the Brooksville area within 25 minutes and then reach Crawford within about a half an hour. So if you're in those areas, be careful. Let's show you our locations there where you can see it. Here's Highway 14 that cuts across. Right here, this is going to be just north of there, the Lake Forest Ranch. You've got Kentucky Fried Chicken. Heavy rain there at the four-way stop on Highway 45 in Macon, Mississippi. So use caution in those areas there with this. A lot of rain coming down with the storm. Winston County. Look at this, around Louisville, especially east of Louisville, just east of Lake Teocata. Heavy storm as we look at this. Here's Highway 397 as it comes in to downtown Louisville, and 15 in that area right there, some of the worst of what we're showing on radar. Now, as we back out and look at this, what is this pink stuff? Let's turn this off so you can see this. This is going to be a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 a.m. Now, it includes Neshoba County, Livingston, Alabama, Utah, Alabama, and all points north there into the edge of Alabama. That's what we're watching. That's a pretty nasty gram going across there. More showers back to our west, even stretching over to Vicksburg. We got some just due north of Jackson, light showers around Canton. As always, we'll be here to walk you through what the weather is doing. Without a shadow of a doubt, we'll be here behind the scenes watching this. We got something nasty that I didn't show you this. Let's see, Gadsden, Alabama. Here, let's go back up here if you're watching from Alabama this morning. Here's New Hope. Right there, we got a severe thunderstorm warning. Here's Gunnersville, Crossville, these areas here. This is going to be just south of Woodville, Alabama. 58-mile-an-hour shear winds involved in this storm. Again, just due east of New Hope, Alabama. Something to pay attention to there. There's Scottsboro, a little thunderstorm popping up near Warrior, Alabama as well. No tornadic activity. We did have some serious weather overnight, possibly up to 3 deaths in Illinois as we watch this as the storms move through Ohio and Illinois last night. Huge tornadoes. As I watched all the storm chasers that do that for a living, that enjoy doing that, God bless them. I like the studio version of that a little bit better. It's safer. But they do a great job of warning people ahead of the storms where things are. We couldn't do things that we do without them. So a big thank you to them and that. Pamela, good morning there. Sydney joins us as well. Jean, good morning from Rose Hill. Miss Pat is up. So good to see you. Alan Carlisle joins us. Guy Coughlin, Mike Dallas, many of you as we get our day rolling. And we're going to be back in just a moment with more weather and everything that's happening. Plus, we're going to get into some headlines. All that's next as we go to Collinsville now. Let's get a good word to end this week.
A well-known author from England in the 1700s named Samuel Johnson once wrote, "People need to be reminded more often than they need to be instructed." Now, there's some wisdom in that statement. You see, if you and I just did everything we already know to do, we'd be just fine. Apostle John takes a similar approach in 1 John 2 when he says to his audience, which by extension includes you and me, "I'm writing to you little children because your sins are forgiven for his name's sake." I take this to mean that what John is communicating in this letter, it isn't anything new. They already know it. They've already been instructed in it. They've already received it. But like a typical human being, they needed to be reminded of it. Just like you and I do. We need to be reminded of it. So he's not writing these things because he's trying to get them and us saved. He's writing them because we are saved. And since we're saved, these are the things that we simply should be doing. So beloved, if you've been forgiven, it was for the sake of God's name. In other words, it was for the purpose of God's glory. And as a result, our lives should glorify Him and honor Him and magnify Him. We don't have to be told something new in order to do that. Just do what you've already been told to do, and God will be greatly glorified. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back as we get our day started together. I hope you enjoyed that. If you need a place to go to church, go visit with them. Bright and early Sunday morning. I believe 10:15 they're going to open up the doors and let everybody come in. Today should be the ruling. I think we're all waiting to see what happens as a federal judge will rule whether or not Fannie Willis will be disqualified from the Trump accusations. The DA, all of that that's going on. We'll find out today what becomes of that. One way or the other, we'll get an answer for that. Did you see this yesterday where the FedEx truck wrecked? It was in New York. He was huge, overturned. There was several people hurt with that. As they said, 5 people, including an infant, was injured. Thank heavens there was no loss of life. There was also another one that I saw involving a FedEx 18-wheeler that slid down a highway on its side. Treacherous weather causes incidents like that. As many miles as they go, all incidents, no major injuries with that. We do have a woman in Minnesota that is being charged with buying guns illegally. This is on top of murder charges. If y'all remember, she killed 3 medical personnel that showed up to a scene. Again, showing that it's not guns, it's people that do this. No matter how you make laws, what you do, people that want to do harm to others will break the law, will do any means necessary. Only the law-abiding citizens follow the rules. The rest, they make up their own rules as they go. Looks as we could see that what's happened to our country in the last 4 years. Some time back, and this is one of those, and I paused, if you will see that, as I tried to come up with a wording for this. We know all about if there's a problem in a home where DHS comes in and they'll take children away from parents and place them in foster homes should they think something is wrong. Topeka, Kansas is a headline this morning where they'd done just that. They took a boy from home. A lot of times we hear stories to where it really wasn't much to it, and parents were accused wrongly. I don't know the inside details of what the original thing was, but the little boy had been placed in a home, and well, it was those that he was placed in the home of where he was being mistreated. Lawsuit has been filed. Kansas will have to pay $1 million to the family after they kept saying he's not being treated fairly. I won't even go to the end of how that poor little boy died. There needs to be screen, and maybe there is, and I just don't know enough about it. Whatever happened here, something fell through the cracks. It's awful. We certainly don't want to leave children in a home to where they're being harmed, but also where they go in these foster homes, you need to make absolutely sure that it's the best care and that people care for them. I know in the back of your mind you're thinking the same thing I am. A lot of people do it just for the money. It's not for the love of the children. I don't have an answer for that. But let's make sure that our guidelines are good. We don't need to lose another child in that way at all. And this is one of those things to where your mind does wonder when you hear the headlines of somebody getting a fine and you think, why are police wasting their time on something like this when we got so many bigger other crimes going on? Do you remember the guy, Pierce Bronson? He's an actor. He's been in Dante's Peak. I think he even played 007 at one time. He did? He made a picture while he was at Yellowstone. You know, out there, as you do when you go with your family. The only problem was he took a picture in an area where he wasn't supposed to be. Good old US of A is fining him $1,500 for being off the ground where he was supposed to be. Again, I have mixed emotions. Did he break the law? Yes, he did. Do we have bigger issues in the United States that need to be dealt with instead of someone taking a picture? And it does make you go, he was fined because they knew he could afford it. Again, the law is the law, but we do have a lot of other issues, don't we? 1976, 2 guys came up missing. They have been found in the Illinois River in a 1966 Chevrolet car. They went to a an estate sale, and they never returned home. Two guys fishing this week ran up on a car. Well, they thought it was a car when they were looking for fish, sonar. And they said it's too big. They called the cops, and lo and behold, it was the two guys that went missing nearly 50 years ago. Skeletal remains were found in the car. I guess it'll take some time for them to figure out what happened, if they can. That's a long time. Boy, howdy, the things that go on. And in most cases, when there is no trace left, it always search those rivers. But I'll tell you that's something that is good of the YouTubers and things like that. There's a lot of people in the U.S. now that do this for a living. Go out and solve cold case files, locate people that have not been able to be found. That's done a lot. I see it every day. This is one of those, why didn't somebody do something quicker? A man that was convicted of 5 DUIs is charged with the murder and a hit and run in California. Could it be the laws in California? Maybe. I think it's 3 in Mississippi. You go to the big house, don't you? If you get 3 of those within a certain time period, I think you go right on down to the big house. Get to spend a few years. California, maybe not so much there. This is the latest that's coming out of Connecticut. And we don't hear a lot out of Connecticut. It's one of those states that is just kind of all to itself, and it remains quiet. Not a lot of headlines come out of there. We see this morning that a teacher has been fired for allegedly throwing a 2-year-old like a piece of luggage against a wall. It was all caught on camera. That's going to be bad for those involved in this. I think the little tight is okay. That is what's good. Texas, I'll tell you, when Texas makes a decision, they draw the line. For those of you who may, I'm trying to think of the best way to word this, that watch, what was it like Cinemax used to have, After Dark? That's a good way to, adult TV. You won't be watching it on this network anymore. They're turning it off after a law in Texas says you can't watch that from your phone. Whoop, it's over. So you're stuck with me and Odie now, if you're in Texas. We're just adults. That's it. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we don't have.
There's a lot more I'd like to joke about that, but I'm not. We're going to leave that alone on this Friday morning. Coming up this morning, we got biscuits getting ready to be delivered, I hear. Isn't it biscuits, Greg? That's what we hear, biscuits? Oh, my heavens. Y'all stay close to this. We're going to do some taste testing coming up at the top of the hour. All that's on the way. Next, we're going to check your forecast. Check a leg. We'll be right back. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Welcome back as we go to radar to take a look at what we have this morning. Here we are. Look at all of this rain north of here as we go through Kemper County. Some light stuff, even light showers there around the Ralph Morgan Rodeo Arena in Lauderdale. But as we go northward, what is that I see? Woo, you get to Sugarlock, it's going to be hard to see all the way to the county line. Be careful in those areas if you're traveling Highway 14 west or 21 back over toward the Louisville area. Going to get into a lot of rain. Now, heads up for anybody that lives on the northern or western side of Neshoba County. It's getting ready to get kind of shaky in those areas as we pull up radar here. And let's go down here and look at this. Right along in here, Edinburgh, y'all be ready. We already got heavy showers there, right there, coming out on 19 as you make your way up here. We'll cross 25 there at Winston County. All over Carthage there at the Walmart there in Carthage, it's heavy, heavy rain. Cautious wherever you go. We always seem to have many incidents when this happens. So be careful. We don't want any of those happening today. And we'll highlight what went on with those yesterday. Arnold, how are you today? Good to see you there. Miss Joyce, Belated birthday again there. Can't have too many of those. Let's get into our forecast now and talk about what's happening today.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Well, as we look at this, now don't forget we're under a north of Meridian, Kemper County, Knoxville County, and also Neshoba County thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock this morning. This is moving east. As we go back for our record highs and our record lows, let's look at this. It was, 1982, we hit a high of 88. In 88, it was 20. Numbers kind of go together, don't they? As we look at today's high, 77 is going to be the best we get to Meridian. But look at all of this. All across the state, it's going to be wet. Chances of severe weather through about lunchtime today. So plan around that. If you've got to go somewhere, it's probably best to go after lunch. Just wait a little while there. Roads will still be slick. As we look at Bama, kind of the same thing. 77 in Selma. Even Montgomery will make it to 79. Oh, boy. Now, here's what we've got here with the severe weather. They've upgraded the Meridian area, including Neshoba, Newton, and Clark County. All of this is going to be under this until noon today, a level 2, which means conditions are possible for tornadic activity, wind gusts of 60 miles an hour, hail. Yep, all of the above could happen. It's a level 2. Down to the south from the coast on down is a level 1. We're watching it closely behind the scenes, and we do have this threat. Look at that. More rain brings this threat of locally 1 to 3 inches of rain. So it's coming that way right now. As you look at this Winston area right in here, it's getting that right now. As we look at Alabama, pretty much the same. It's going to be level 2 all the way over to Alex City, nearly to Auburn, taking in Montgomery and Selma as well. Now, this is what we got kind of normal at this point. Warmer weather we see starting to move across Texas, even hotter down in South Texas. And here's our 7-day forecast. We're getting to 77 today. Tonight's low about 58. But look at that, 90% chance of rain. As we get down to tomorrow, the weekend kicks off with a 75 for a high. That's going to be nice. It'll be perfect weather tomorrow. I think the farmers market's going to be back out at the back porch there on Highway 19. It'd be good to go out to that. Sunday rolls in. There is a 40% chance of showers, and then that kind of washes away for a little while so your grass can grow where you'll have to do something. We hit mid-70s for most of the week. A couple of days there of the 60s, 64, 65. Let's go another week into this toward the end of the month all the way to the 29th. Steady 70-degree weather, anywhere from 73 to 74. Not bad. Chances of thunderstorms there for several days after we begin on the 22nd. Something to watch. Now, this is our fishing forecast for today. If you're going to be out and about today, let's see here. This morning is great. Up until 7 o'clock, you got about 25 minutes left on this. This afternoon, it'll be 5:40 when the fishing is great till about 8 p.m. right there at dark. Wind's going to be south 5 to 10 with gusts of about 20 miles an hour. So rain will be moving out, so it won't be quite so bad after all. We'll watch the weather for you behind the scenes. Again, we're getting ready for the morning show. We do hope you will join us. At 7 o'clock is when we'll go live with everyone. Whole lot more. 6:50 already this morning there, 6:48. Latoya, how are you? So good to see you. Topeka, Kansas. I remember Loretta Lynn talking about that, but here in Topeka, she was having a baby, and one's on the way. Isn't that what it was? One's on the way. Boy, that's been forever since I heard that. She had like 9 kids, didn't she? Couple sets of twins. Yep. Happy birthday, Karina, there. We'll get the morning show going. Thank y'all so much for choosing us and dropping by. We'll keep you up abreast of all the weather situations throughout the day, even after the morning show. Don't worry about that. We'll go live when it's necessary, when it becomes a threat for you. As always, thanks for making us your first choice for weather. We'll be back shortly in about 5 minutes to kick off the morning show.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.